Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between, a film and TV podcast. We're your hosts. I am Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. Number two, what are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. Erwin, what are we reviewing?
Wicked. Finally.
Jon M. Choose Wicked. I did finally look up what musical I was talking about that I really liked of his. In the Heights.
Right?
I fucking love In the Heights. We saw that together the day it came out. Yeah.
So good.
So I should have I got a lot to say and I got a lot to apologize for.
Yeah, you do. You do.
In regards to this movie.
That's right.
But before we do all that, just know that everything we review will always have full spoilers. I understand that the Broadway show is
Our videos have spoilers except for our cars. At the back. You know, like in the trunk where it has a spoiler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have one of those. I got an HRV.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard for you to
One
have
of the ones with the big butts, yeah.
Oh, it's a car, dude.
It's a...
Me watching Cars
It's a
1,
car,
2,
yeah.
3. It's a car.
Yeah, got thoughts. But before we get into all that, I got to ask you a question, Erwin.
Sure.
With this movie...
I loved it. You don't need to ask that
yeah.
question. Am I somewhere between? No. Do I hate it?
We got to do it, though. Let me do it.
Okay.
Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere between?
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
All
right. Okay. This is...
Guys, we're a sucker for musicals.
Yeah. So actually, I've heard so many fucking reviews that are like, guys, I've only got about one musical in me a year. I'm not that big of a musical person. I don't like musicals, but I like this. Fuck no. I love musicals. And
I was telling my friend that every time, I don't know, it's like, it kind of makes you think, damn, I should have been a theater kid.
No, it never makes sense to me because I'm always like, I love music.
Yes.
I love movies.
I love dance.
And dancing is awesome, and it's a skill that is insanely hard to do.
It's so much harder.
And you have firsthand experience with that. With I see your square over there. But
why'd you say that? Guys, I took dancing lessons.
I'm not saying it is a bad thing.
Yeah, but you said square. Don't be a square. I saw your square over there.
I'm not dancing around it. I'm like, so I'm trying to...
That's not bad.
Thank you. But...
Is that your joke?
No, I didn't tell you I had any jokes. I was like, oh yeah, this movie's wicked. That's like...
That's it.
No, this movie's incredible. And the reason why I got a lot to apologize for is I've talked a lot of shit about the trailers for this, but I'm still going to clarify. The trailers are bad for this movie. Because I know that... now I know that it's set to defying gravity. However, we're going to speak on what we know about the musical, and if we know anything about it, really. Have you heard any of the songs from...
I probably just by passing by and watching others maybe recreate it, but not knowing where it may have been from.
Yeah.
But all I know is that I heard of Wicked because of just Broadway.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous
yes
Broadway shows ever.
And then maybe I've heard the title of the song "Defining Gravity" a couple of times, but I never actually listened to it.
Yeah.
But that's the most I know about it, and how it's connected to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And some semblance.
For me, really, what I knew about it is that my mom has seen Wicked, and that it's...
And Broadway?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that it's a big deal, and that it's such a big show that it tours pretty much everywhere all the time. I think it came to Dallas a couple of years ago. And that's about it. I knew that they announced this a long time ago. It's been in production for a really long time. And I always thought that sometimes you see that as a bad thing, that we talk about how sometimes knowing the production issues behind something kind of you can't help but know.
Yeah, it kind of hinders your experience sometimes.
That was me with Red One, but from what I understand with this is just, I'm not going to compare this to that at all.
Well, I think I don't know. It could hinder your movie, or it can make the audience want to go see the movie even more so.
Yeah.
Just because of, gossip as well.
Don't worry, darling, or
yes,
whatever it may be. But with this,
or with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, that movie too.
Oh yeah, Anyone But You. And then it turns out she did that on purpose. Very smart. Yeah. But with this, I think the only thing that's really trending is the interviews that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are doing together, where I watch them and I'm like, I don't think I fully get what they're talking about, but
it's very emotional.
Yeah, no, they are.
But I think it's because they're so passionate too, with their roles as well.
And I understand that a Broadway and musicals have a lot of passionate people behind them, which is why I'm grateful that I felt passion exuding out of this movie. I think that's why I gravitated to it so much, is that you can just feel it. Like, you can feel the passion there. You can feel the energy there. What did you feel like going into this? Were you excited for it? Or?
I guess I got a little bit more excited when the reviews came out for it.
Yeah, I remember I texted you. I was like, thank God.
I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, another movie, another good movie I get to see this week.
No, 2 in a row.
Yeah,
I'm very happy for it. Yeah.
But other than that, I had little to no expectations.
Yeah.
I just knew that it was going to be a musical, and it's good. And I'm like, I love musicals, and I love a good movie.
No, exactly.
And so, and both of them in one, it's like, great.
New songs to listen to at the gym over and over. Exactly.
The way I came out of this movie, and I felt like a new person again. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, new personality unlocked.
Which one?
The witch. Okay. Obviously. Or Fierro.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah. You say Jonathan Bailey.
Dude, Jonathan Bailey. Look, real recognizes real. Yeah. When you see a handsome guy, you gotta say something. He's incredible
in this, and like, he's very charming, and like, you understand why everybody around him is like
I gotta finish season 2 of Bridgerton. That was my thinking right
I was trying to remember what season you said that he was in.
Oh, I mean, he's in all of them, but season 2, that was like, he's like the main lead. That's why.
Because I am aware of him as an actor, but I think this is the first thing I've like really seen him in, and
he's very out there in this one, because at least from the first season that I've seen him in, he's very he holds back, but that's how his character is too. Yeah. But in this one, he's very out there.
Do you mean in season 2, or do you mean in
in the movie?
Oh, okay.
In Wicked. Yeah, he's very out there.
So some of the things that I want to rectify that I was like kind of talking shit about is the way this movie looks. Yeah. And again, we're talking about production design here. They made a lot of real sets for this, a lot of them, and you can tell, because I feel like the only thing that was very noticeably CG, and not in the sense that it's bad, just in the sense that these are talking animals. Yeah.
Mine was only the flying monkeys.
Oh, really?
That was the only thing that looked terrible, but the other talking animals, I didn't really.
I didn't think the monkeys looked bad.
I didn't think it looked bad. Yeah. It looked very. It just looked very noticeable. Yeah. Of like, oh, maybe if they finished up like a few touches or something. But the other talking animals, I didn't notice it.
Really? Yeah. I don't know.
That's why I got so confused. I was like, whoa, what happened here?
I felt like that there was a lot of visual consistency, at least for me, with that. But I was kind of struck by, I didn't know that this was going to be like a school set movie. Oh, yes. So I got really happy when I processed it. I was like, oh, it's like one of these. And I love, Sorcerer Academy things, obviously. And don't get me wrong, they don't really show
enemies becoming friends.
That
trope.
We
amazing.
talked about earlier on in the year.
Transformers
1, yeah, and I didn't know that this was gonna have like similar DNA, and I don't know where part 2 is going. So I've intentionally, whenever they announced this, I've waited years to like see what the story actually is with this. I've somehow, I guess because I forgot I was doing that, I've been able to keep myself away from what the story is.
Yeah, I didn't know as much as well until like after the fact, where I'm like, what is this about?
No, and the way it ends too, I was like, I want to know what happens in part 2.
Yes.
Because the story here is there's 2 big things going on. It's essentially, it's funny, we have another personal set story against the backdrop of something politically bigger happening. We just talked about that with Gladiator 2. It's about,
goes to show politics is in everything.
Yeah, if you ever think that anything isn't political in your art, just know that that's not true. But fully delving into this though, Erwin, what is this about?
Let me look at it. Their names. Oh my God, Elphaba?
Yeah, Elphaba.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I read that Elphaba is supposed to be how the author of the book or the play. Yeah. And because his first name, I forgot what it starts. I think it's right here somewhere.
While you look that up, I'll just go ahead and...
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
L. Frank Bum. So Elphaba.
Okay. And this is it right there. FB, which becomes Elphaba.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, I didn't know that.
That's like IMDb trivia facts.
There you go. But is a misunderstood young woman because of her green skin. I get it. My skin too.
You're not green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. Me want to be Shrek. And there's Glinda, a popular girl. They become friends at the school.
Shiz University?
Yeah,
you didn't want to say the school?
I guess. Shiz. I just don't believe it. Why would they name that?
I don't know. I told you right before we
Me
started
trying to find the trivia. I'm like, why is it
named Why is it named Shiz? I think because they wrote this in the 90s. I don't know what to tell you.
And then they encounter Wizard of Oz. And then that's when their friendship
reaches a crossroads.
Yeah. Get it?
That happens like right at the end though. Because
of brick road.
Yeah, the yellow brick road. But I don't know where that's going to lead.
They play the song Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
I don't know where that's going to lead into part 2 though. No, they didn't do that. They had the cool credits. That
the memories by Mark 5.
No, not Venom 3 either. They had the credits that were a tribute to like old 1930s things that had the like silent film thing. I thought that was cool.
That was cool.
But so it is about that, but it's also about this whole other thing where they have this like Animal Farm-esque kind of political commentary about electing someone and then giving someone. I love the way that Jeff Goldblum delivers this one line where he's like, they need a real good enemy. Yeah.
Yes.
And of course they take the one person. I think that like I didn't really know this story, so I felt completely immersed in it. I felt really in love with this. I
want to know so much about the world itself because we spent a little bit of time in Munchkin Land,
just a bit at like the beginning of the movie.
And so the way they talk about these certain settings in this movie, it makes you want to learn more about it because like Fiyero, he's a prince.
Of where? I don't know.
I don't know. I want to know.
There's so many different things that they do here. I love the way they do this like Roald Dahl-esque thing where some of the way they pronounce words is not real.
Yes.
And there's like a way she calls the hat like hideous or something like that. But there's a lot of like random lines where they have just a bit of dialogue where a word is weird and it's said differently.
Yes.
And that's the small type of world building that I like. I think it's very funny that they retained this one Broadway sort of take on things where, yes, everyone is in uniform except for the main three. Why? I don't know.
I know.
They don't.
To make sure like you as the audience knows that these are the main people.
See, we would know that in Broadway, but like obviously here, I think it's funny because it's just kind of, it's one of those things where you're not gonna think about that. I think I just did because somebody else brought it up and I was like, well, that's a very Broadway approach, is just to do that.
Yeah, and that's true. That makes sense. I thought that it was just because to make them look more unique.
Yeah.
But then again, that's like also the same thing, I guess, in Broadway as well.
Did you like all of the stuff with the animals as well?
Oh yeah, the way they introduced like the issues that they had and like the problems that they're facing as well. And it definitely made you care a lot about Elphaba. Oh yeah,
because that was essentially her whole drive is
in the beginning. I mean, I don't know how she's gonna feel next too, so that's why I'm so curious about how the second one's gonna go. And seeing like Galinda's like perspective shift.
No, I'm curious about that as well because it does end on a cliffhanger.
And but not even, it's like her shift from in the middle of the movie or like whenever it happens as well. Whenever she does the dance.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, it's interesting because I think that this movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes. I didn't really feel that length at all.
The moment it was about to end, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, like I think that things progressed very quickly, and I was just so enamored with the entire story.
Yeah,
but obviously it takes some time for Glinda. She changes it halfway through
because of the goat.
Yeah,
solidarity.
Which Peter Dinklage, perfect casting.
Dude, I was like, is that Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, no, you can tell so fast. It's the way he says something, where he's like, "No, Elphaba."
Yeah,
but all of that I think is great. I do think that it's like, it's interesting that this is written as long ago as it was, and the commentary is still relevant. Take that how you will, but I do think that it still holds true to some of the stuff that they're saying.
My other favorite things about this movie were the side characters.
Yeah.
As well. They felt so... no matter how little screen time they got, they felt so unique. And every time they were on screen, they definitely had a chance to shine as well. Like, I didn't know this one guy... What's his name? Bowen Yang.
Oh, Bowen Yang.
From SNL.
Yeah,
he does a great job. I really loved his character.
Very funny in this, as well as whoever the other friend.
Oh, Bronwyn James.
Yeah. Bronwyn James. Yeah.
Okay.
Bowen Yang's a very good writer for SNL. It's probably how they met, honestly, with Ariana Grande, because a lot of people say that she's really funny on there. Mm-hmm. I occasionally tune into SNL, but I haven't in like a while. I know that she apparently always kills it on there. And it's kind of funny because we'll get into the performances in a second, but you and I are both familiar with Victorious.
I think I am. I don't know about you.
I used to watch it a lot when I was younger.
I watched it all again.
All again. Okay, so you even more than I do.
Yeah.
But I want to know who saw Victorious and was like, that is, because you can see traces of why they would have cast Ariana Grande in the first place.
That, and just the fact that I don't know if you've seen like these interviews too with the Broadway actresses.
Yeah.
And the person who played Glinda in the Broadway, I guess Ariana Grande and her grandma went to go see Wicked.
Yeah.
And they saw and they got to meet Glinda, the original
Kristen
Broadway.
Chenoweth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ariana Grande told her, "I want to be you."
Yeah.
Glinda, and like the fact that it all happened over, and then even during an interview too with the Broadway actress as well.
Yeah.
She said like, "Oh, Ariana Grande would be great as Glinda." It's insane to see like that, like that. What's it called? Where it's like the triple, or like that.
The EGOT or something. The EGOT.
EGOT.
The Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Or are you talking about something else?
No. I'm talking about like that effect though. That is just like the trickle effect.
Oh, I know. Okay, I thought you said triple.
Like, I was like, oh no, did she have that?
No, I mean, I could see her. Considering her performance in this movie, I could see it happening.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean, I always knew from Victorious that she would be a great actress.
It's just funny because I've seen so many reviews where like she's actually very funny. I'm like, but she's always been
funny.
Yeah. Like, I don't actively listen to Ariana Grande. She is incredibly talented.
She is, yes.
And I haven't really thought she's been exceedingly like incredible in something until now, because I thought that she was absolutely
hasn't been
stellar
in a lot of movies though. Like, she's like the lead.
You know what she was good in though? She was good in Don't Look Up, but she is barely in it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
She's like playing that like conceited pop star kind of figure. But we'll get into the performances. Let's do it, because it's the focal point of the movie. It's their emotional relationship with each other.
I mean, they're the ones that for sure lead the movie, and without I feel like even just like chemistry alone, if they didn't connect well, it wouldn't have worked.
This wouldn't have worked at all, because they have to play off of each other in so many different ways. It has to be playful, and also you have to say like, I think it's interesting the dynamic that they navigate, because it's that like whole mean girl thing, but then it's also like I got teary-eyed. I did in the middle of this movie with the dancing sequence.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't anticipate it to be so quiet. It felt like very you could just see the roots of a Broadway stage show, in the sense that
there's like the silence, it just says so much too.
Yeah. But what did you think of the main two?
I mean, I loved both of them, but for sure it has to be, what's her name? Cynthia Erivo?
I've heard it pronounced two different ways. Cynthia Erivo and Cynthia Erivo, but I do believe it's Cynthia Erivo.
Erivo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I think she did such a fantastic job just to make the audience care, and like for me, care about the characters so much.
She has so much weight in her eyes alone, honestly. And I think
the way she sings, incredible. I would have never thought, and me trying to practice that
final high note,
and I'm like, whoa.
I was stalling so we could talk about the song specifically. But I do think that she's the best performance in this. It's the most layered. It's
like onions.
I want to say,
which is a reference to Shrek,
because she's green. Yeah. I want to say that it's not a showy performance as much as Ariana Grande's. However, I mean, it is also singing based, so it kind of is showy, because she flexes the fuck out of her vocal range.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the actual performances of the songs themselves in a second. But I think that Ariana Grande is also absolutely stellar in this movie, but especially Elphaba. But we do have to talk about someone that I wasn't anticipating, kind of steals every scene he's in, is Jonathan
Bailey as Fiyero.
Yeah.
Guys.
What?
I really loved him in this.
He's what makes me want to transition into the production design and the songs in this. When he shows up, that I listened to it a bunch at the gym. I listened to all of it a lot.
Yes.
But that 10-minute stretch of that song that he leads in the library blew me the fuck away, because they do so much with the technical design of everything spinning, and I didn't anticipate because everything's real, right?
Yeah.
And,
no, it's a fake world, my guy.
Well, no, but the sets and everything.
Yes.
The books, how it's rounded out, and I think it was
it's fake. There's no way the books can.
They pulled one out, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, them using
me trying to build one of those, and it just all fell down.
I'm
this fucking lied to me. That song's awesome.
Yes, it's great.
I love how much they dedicated themselves to all the dancers being present, and they're very obviously not just the vocal range people, but they definitely got people that can dance in the back, because it really adds something. Choreography does just add stuff.
Yes.
And all the extras doing immaculate jobs, and them bouncing back and forth the parkour and the ladders and stuff is absolutely incredible. But that's not my favorite song in this, I don't think. I think I have multiple favorite songs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. I think I had 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Where I'm this is amazing.
But let's talk about, if you don't have a favorite one, list off a few of your favorites.
I mean, there's Defying Gravity, the popular one, and then What Is This Feeling, I think?
Yeah.
Is the name of the song? Yeah, that one's also great.
Same ones, honestly. Yeah. Defying Gravity. And then that one where they initially are roommates.
Oh, and that's the one where they first started.
Yeah, that's the What Is This Feeling?
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain. So. Popular is also incredible.
Yeah,
but all of it is so well done. You talk about how what's integral to musicals is telling the story through song, and this is doing that.
Yes,
but also the songs are catchy, and they've been stuck in my head. I could not hit any note for shit.
No,
definitely
not at all.
not. And what's funny is learning that apparently Defying Gravity is a huge karaoke song.
Oh.
Which, how?
God. But, the way it just hurts my throat.
Yeah.
I'm I don't understand.
But you can tell, because people say oh, it's a show-stopping performance. Literally, that's what that needs to do. The entire, for me, the way that this movie works, it needs to end on a show-stopping note.
Yeah.
And it quite literally does. It goes on for 10 seconds after, then I thought it was going to end.
Yeah.
But because you can tell, that's the intermission. All right, well, now we got to wait a year before we're allowed back inside, technically. Because
I already paid my ticket the first time.
Where's Wicked 2? I know they filmed them back to back. Just show me the next part of it. But really, did you have a favorite plot point in this? Because I do want to go over.
I think my favorite plot point was whenever they got to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. And
I think just because that's the moment where a lot of their beliefs get shattered.
Yeah. Especially
with Elphaba, but also seeing Glinda in disbelief, but also still following through with what their plans were.
Yeah. No, I love the ending to this movie, because I will always love something that offers moral conflict, essentially. Yes. Where, yes, the right thing to do is to leave, essentially. But Ariana Grande's character is in a position of, well, I can't anyway, even if I wanted to, because I don't have the powers that you have, because they keep making that point over and over that she wants to be taught.
Yeah.
And we know that at a point, I guess she learns. Yeah. Because the beginning of this movie opens with the bubble and everything. And from what I understand, that's going to lead directly into the events of Wicked 2, that also take place while the Wizard of Oz is happening in the first place. Yes. Because I guess Dorothy showing up sets off more events anyway. Mm-hmm. What they are, I don't know. And I was tempted to look up what happens in part 2, but I also want to keep that surprise for myself.
That's true.
Because I know that they're doing like revisionist history. This didn't happen. But
I'm not a history major, but this is not happening.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. You never know.
You never know. You just... How does even stories even get made?
Like, this didn't line up with Oz the Great and Powerful.
That one was confusing too, like to understand like how that played or like how that movie came about.
Oh, the Sam Raimi one?
Yeah.
I remember like being obsessed with it when I was younger, actually, because I saw it in 3D and I was like, holy shit.
3D? Put on my glasses.
And then watching that movie now, I don't know what I would think of it. Yeah. Because I've heard that some people are like defenders of it, but way more people are like, what the hell is this?
Probably because they just love the lore of it.
Yeah. Honestly, I get it now. Like, I see why people, like, this is a thing. Mm-hmm. Because this, I feel, does it full justice. At least, I mean, I can't speak on the Broadway show.
I would love to. I wonder how much. I bet those tickets are expensive.
There's no way that they don't, like, bring it back full scale because of this as well. Like, this feels very, like, culturally monumental in the way that Barbie did. I saw so many people dressed up yesterday when I went to go see Gladiator 2 again. And then when I saw it I think I saw it on Saturday. No, Sunday. A lot of people were also dressed up then. Like, this is very much like a wear the hat and all of it. Yeah. Like, all the dressing up and coordinated for it. But what I love in regards to plot points is I'm fairly certain that they imply that Jeff Goldblum's character is Elphaba's dad.
What makes you say that?
Because very early on, whenever they imply the governor that's Jeff Goldblum's voice singing that song.
No way.
It is. I caught on because I was like, I know his voice anywhere. That's him.
Wait. In the beginning.
Yeah.
The guy that is dancing with
the green elixir. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Is that why like she was holding onto like that bottle under her
pillow?
I
think that it was.
Oh, and it's gonna be like a thing that they bring up.
If they bring it up or not, I don't know. But I was like, that's Jeff Goldblum's voice, and they're keeping his face secret. That's him. Like,
huh?
That's like for a second you looked like you were like, why would you say that?
Yeah, I was like, what?
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Essentially,
dude, I'm just like. Ugh. It just sucks because now I want to see what part 2 is happening or like look it up as well.
We have 362 days until the next one.
That's true. But this movie works so well just because of the music and the choreography of it. Because if it wasn't if those parts weren't strong, the movie itself would have been okay.
No, that's what I was worried about. I was worried about like
Have you seen Mean Girls, the new one?
I haven't yet.
And I haven't seen it either.
I've heard that the songs aren't that good, though, which is why I stalled on it forever.
Me too.
But apparently the Broadway show's songs are already not that good. So it's kind of and I've heard the choreography's not great in that movie either. Yeah. So I've been like really stalling on watching it. Yeah, me too. And this just proves with musicals, I mean, if you go all out, if you do something good, you're going to get something good back.
That makes sense.
Like, you can't refute my logic, I guess. But if you cast real singers that can also act.
That's true. I heard that some point, you know how they would record their singing after the fact?
Yeah.
They wanted to sing during shooting.
I heard that a lot of this was like live. So
and I was like, that's insane.
And there's a couple jokes that they make where Ariana Grande's character is like hitting a really high note and she's not even like really singing. She's just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just a flex for no reason. I love The Wizard and I. I also love that song when she's floating through the field and she's like.
That was also great. I think I just love the sequences too. There were so many great shots. Yeah. Like whenever she was practicing moving the coin in the shadow on the book.
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing.
No, there were so many like different kind of practical tricks done in camera as well. I love the fact that the opening shot with the hat is basically the tornado from Wizard of Oz flipped upside down. Or the scene where they're in that like cave thing in that party is beautiful as well, just because it feels very intimate and very quiet, like you said earlier. But there's so many visual callbacks. I love this moment. I don't know how they did it, but a lot of it looks practical to me, where she sang in The Wizard and I that she doesn't want to be green, but she's looking at the reflection of what she would look like without it. But she transitions backwards.
Yes.
And the color kind of fades and then comes back on her. I don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
Movie magic, but
movie magic at Shiz University.
But so much of it felt very in camera, like just practical trick stuff that maybe it's a testament to also feeling like the old school 1930s Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Also with the sets, having it be the fact that it's Broadway and you can only have so many sets just based off of like the music that you're trying to do as well.
No, and I love that they also replicated that
exactly
like, movie wise too.
Because that's always a lot of things when it comes to musicals. I didn't realize that when you have like an actual musical, the sets around it play such a huge part into their music as well. And just the flow of the movie it's so great.
No, because sometimes they'll do a flip like with a set, and you can tell that they probably got the inspiration from them actually doing that in the Broadway show, but they get to amplify it by like a million.
Yeah.
But do you have any negatives with this?
No, not really.
I don't even.
I can't think of it. I was like, no. I was like, the only thing is like the fact that Ariana Grande had that thing with SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. Oh, in real life. Well, that's real life. Real life is a whole other thing.
But that's what I meant. Though, whenever it's like the good publicity and bad publicity.
Yeah. And then like you're like, hey, I heard you ruined that guy's marriage, and he's SpongeBob.
And he's SpongeBob.
Well, no, I told you when I got out of it, and I was like, we're gonna think the same thing. There's no way we don't think the same thing.
It was great.
Yeah, this is incredible. It's really, really incredible. I don't have a singular negative, to be honest with you guys.
Guys, we need more musicals. Musicals changed my life every time I watch it.
There's been a few this year. We haven't reviewed all of them.
Which
I know
ones?
that Rosie Perez, I think is what it's called, that Selena Gomez one.
It's a musical?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I've heard it's good.
Uh-huh.
There's also Moana 2, which that's up next. But
I guess it's a musical.
Yeah, I mean Disney musicals, like they always you just don't really call them that because, you know, Disney's inherently a musical already, I guess, when you think about it. But overall, Erwin, what'd you think?
Great. I'm excited to see the next one. I'm happy that it actually comes out next year.
Yeah.
So
they already made it.
Yeah.
What's your score?
5 out of 5.
Yeah. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5.
I thought this was incredible. I thought it was kind of...
I kind of want to dance.
Yeah.
I want to start dancing and singing.
I found it super charming. I've seen that it's doing super well. And
what's making more, Wicked or Gladiator?
I think Wicked, but that makes sense because Wicked's PG-13 and Gladiator is rated R.
Yeah, I figured since Wicked has like such a big following.
And this has a huge following as well.
And then I was like, Moana 2 comes out this week. It's not gonna make any money. I was like, well,
no, Moana 2 is like people aren't aware that that's even coming out.
I didn't know it came out like
today. Yeah.
I was like, oh, what?
That's why I was telling you. I was like, gonna go see it today, but then I'll go see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But what's up next? They already know. But
Moana 2.
Yeah, Moana 2. Are you looking forward to that?
I don't know.
I've heard it's something.
I just hope I don't want to be bored. That's my only thing. I hate being bored at a movie. If it's bad, but I find it to be funny bad, then
we've run into a lot of issues with things just being boring bad.
Yeah,
lately, though.
I hate boring bad.
However, we got 2 incredible movies in a row. How awesome is that?
That's awesome. Movies are back.
Movies are in fact back. Did they ever leave? Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We will see you next time.